is everybody tonight? I hope you're fine. We've been having just all kinds of rain and storms down here, but luckily it has cleared out in the last few minutes. And I don't think we're going to have any other things to worry about as far as disrupting the internet.
MH said, hello, Mr. T.
How is everybody?
I hope everybody can hear us.
I think everybody can. Hope so. If you have any hearing, if you see any problems with the volume, or if you can hear us tonight, please tell us what's going on. Good to see you, Maui.
Give us a thumbs up if it's good.
Yeah, if it's good.
MH has had her passport renewed. Come see us, MH.
Yeah.
She said it's loud and clear.
Okay, great. I've been thinking about doing some stuff. In the next, I'm going to ask y'all's opinion on this. One is when the affidavit comes out on the Barry Morphew's affidavit, I am going to try to get a copy of it and go through it on here, what I feel like each thing means and how in my experience, I've looked at various, like I said, I've told you in the past, I've done hundreds of pure affidavits. Murder affidavits, a murder warrant affidavit is huge. Usually it's very huge. It's either one or two ways. I had a judge tell me once, don't put too much stuff in the affidavit because all of that stuff can be picked apart. He said, put what you need to get the charge out there. But in drug affidavits for search warrants or arrest warrants, it wasn't that big. I mean, we put just what was required because we didn't want them to pick apart the affidavit. However, I went back today and looked at all of the filings so far in the Barry Morphew case and looked at all of them. And the biggest thing right now is the filing. The defense has filed a motion to suppress the affidavit from being released to the public. And so what we're going to do with it when then the next, maybe Friday, maybe probably next week, I'd like to take each one of these pieces of paper that had been filed and we'll look at them and see what, in my opinion, they mean. And maybe you can give your opinion on what you think they mean also. Maui wants to know if the kitty's okay.
I'm gonna get the kitty in just a little bit.
But we'll take a look at that. Right now, they have not released the affidavit for arrest, and I'll tell you right now what I think why the defense does not want that to be released. They have a number of reasons, in my opinion. Is one, the biggest reason, it's going to basically put it out there on paper what the prosecution feels like that he did. And right now, it's just assumptions of it. And he probably still feels like the defense feels like that he has some people backing him and that the public was still kind of iffy and doesn't really believe he did it. But once that affidavit's out there, it could very well turn the tide against him in a big time way. So it's going to be interesting. I hope they do release it. I think it's only, I don't think he should be held out. That is hardly ever held back. I've only know maybe one other case that's going on right now that they've sealed the search warrants and they've sealed the affidavit for arrest. And that's way down the road. I mean, that's in a small case in the county.
Someone says, they say one reason is the daughter's victimized.
Well, I don't think so. I know that maybe the judge or maybe the defense is using that as an excuse, but you can't say that when all these other cases, millions of other cases in the United States don't have that privilege. Just because a guy's got money and he's got daughters doesn't give him the right to have more privileges in a case like murder, and what we can do is I think we need to go over each individual thing. There's a lot. There's like 5 or 6 pieces of documentation that have been released by the court. And it's pretty interesting when you look at all of them. It's pretty revealing, too, just in the charges that they did and how they worded it. But we can, we'll go over it and we'll look at it one by one. And all I can do, because I'm not involved in the case directly, is all I can do is give you my opinion because of my years' experience in law enforcement and investigations. But we'll look at that. I would love to do it Friday if I can, but I kind of want to wait till next week to see a possibility that the court has a ruling on whether or not they'll release the affidavit. If they release the affidavit, you're going to see a flurry of people out there and YouTube channels putting it out there and saying what they believe it means. And we'll just all look at it from our own experience level and go from there. And mainly, too, is I'm amazed a lot of times at what y'all know. And what you figured out on your own is some of you have never been in law enforcement, never took criminal justice or anything. Now, just because I had this experience, only thing that does for me is that gives me my opinion is based on experience, not just what I think. And that's just, but sometimes you can read and research and your opinion will be probably just as well as mine, or maybe even more so. Okay, we'll look at that, and you can email me and tell me how you want to do it. I think that when the affidavit comes out, it's going to probably be pretty in depth, and what I would like to do, if possible, there's a lot of things that I may be able to do. One is I may be able to get a defense attorney on here and see what they think about it.
Well, that would be awesome.
If I get one that represents a lot of murder cases.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
I would have to call him and see if he would be available.
If he's got time, yeah. I'm sure his wife would be with him. There's going to be shockwaves on YouTube all trying to dissect it. You're right.
You're right, it is.
MH said that.
But, what I would hope that would happen would be that we would all look at it openly and justly and from our own experience and then put it out there and let you judge for yourself.
Lisa said, even the defense said they have never seen anything like this arrest affidavit. Thank you, Barbara.
Well, what do they mean by that? Do they mean that it's, small? But here's what you gotta figure on. They did 335 search warrants involved in this case. 335. So I would say that, I agree, man. It probably has a lot from Barry. I would say that if they just, if they say you're going to have this, and this, this date we did search warrants, da-da-da-da-da. No, I'm not in my pajamas.
No, he said to ask me if I was. No, this is a very nice pink top. When you said that, it made me think, yeah, my mama's got some, or she did have some nightgowns in this material. It is a top. I'm not in my jammies.
That's funny.
That is funny.
But if they did it where they say on certain day we served a search warrant at this address located at the corner of A and B Street, it's a yellow house, it's got 2 cars in the front yard, and it's very detailed. And while in the search warrant we've recovered this and this and this, going back, going a whole bunch of things like that. Yes, search warrant, the affidavit for arrest could be huge. But here's the thing you got to understand about the affidavit for arrest. It does not have to be that huge. All it has to do is prove probable cause, not absolute cause, or not absolutely guilty, just probable cause. So let's just, for instance, and then we'll get into this other stuff, but let's just, for instance, I'm a police officer, say I'm working a case and I find marijuana or drugs, heroin or whatever on a guy in a car. Then your affidavit would be as simple as this. During a lawful traffic stop for running a red light, I conducted a consent search of the subject's car, and under the front seat, I discovered a white powdery substance in a plastic bag that tested positive for heroin. He was arrested. That's it. That's all you need. How do you know, Lisa, that it's 149 pages? Thank you. I appreciate you praying for our son, Dakota. How do you know that it's 149 pages? Right now, unless you know that because you have direct knowledge, I don't know that it is. I would love to know if that is true, that it is that. I mean, I haven't heard anybody say they've seen it. If it's 149 pages, then yeah, it will take me a good while to read it and make notes and go back and Chris McDowell, well, how does he know? I'll tell you, I'm not bad mouthing Chris or any of those guys, but when I first got out here and started this channel, they heard about me and they asked me who I was, and basically what they wanted to know what I was all about, if I'd mind sending them something. Why? I thought, hey, well, okay, we'll share information and everything. I did, and I have not heard one peep out of them since then. It's been almost a year. So, sure, they have a lot of experience. I'm not doubting it all, and I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying that, how does he know? He knows a lot of people in the court system and all that, but when it comes down to it, until it is actually out there public, I wouldn't believe it. Not to say he would lie, but I'm just not saying that, it's until I see it, we just really don't know. You know what I mean?
It's not been put out there at all.
I don't think it has. You'll hear all kinds of stuff from Reddick and from other guys, and maybe they heard it is 149 pages. I just want to, before I would put out a 149-page affidavit, I think that I would just submit it to the grand jury and let them indict him. When you put that much stuff out there, it's a lot for the defense to pick apart. That's basically, I don't know.
Lots of circumstantial.
Well, I appreciate that, Maddie. I'm not saying anything bad about these guys. What I'm saying is this. A lot of times in law enforcement, you'll hear a lot of stuff from a lot of people, but until you actually see it in black and white, I've always had the saying, believe only half of what you see, believe, half of what you see and none of the things what you hear, because you just can't, you just don't know. But what I think, people have different ways of doing stuff, but you put a 149-page affidavit together and you submit it from an arrest affidavit, then that gives the defense. I wouldn't want to give them that much stuff to pick apart. I would much rather just say, we're not going to get this arrest affidavit. Let's just go to the grand jury. Let the grand jury hear it, 19 people, and let them decide, hey, is it worth getting a warrant for this guy? They can do it right there on the spot. Grand jury can. Okay.
So Lisa said, I only watch YouTube. I don't go to Reddit or any other platform.
Yeah. Well, until, the problem, until we get it out there, we really just don't know 100%. And I don't want to say it's, just because Chris or somebody else says that it's 149 pages. I want to see it in the
Well, if you
first.
say it's 149 pages, then somebody is going to go back that goes to other channels and say, that's 149 pages. The missing said so.
Yeah, I don't. It could be 5 pages or it could be 1,000 pages. But I just have a real problem with that. I don't know why anybody would use that much, put that much out to get an arrest affidavit.
Maui said, to their credit, they usually don't speak gossip. They are known from experience. They know from experience it can jeopardize an investigation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these guys, listen, I don't have nothing problem with Chris or his former partner there. I don't have any problem with those guys other than the fact that I was hoping that we, being in past law enforcement, I think they have 20, 25 years. I've got 33. It doesn't mean my 33 is more than theirs. We've worked at different size departments. They worked a lot more homicide than I did. I have worked homicide, but I'm just saying that I'd much rather wait and see what the actual stuff rather than just guessing at it. And I really don't know too. I really don't know why somebody would have that large of an affidavit. I really don't, because it gives the defense a whole lot more to pick apart.
Overkill?
Well, I mean, like I said, you try to put. I had this judge I had one time tell me. He said, I want to just get the facts.
Okay.
Just the facts is all I want. I don't want you to write me a book because I don't want the defense to have a lot of stuff to pick apart.
Karen said, Plunder said a reliable source from Reddit said it was 129 pages. So, see, nobody knows for sure. You don't be fussing at me. Now, I mean it.
Well, regardless, when it does come out, what I would like to do is probably take about a week and go through it and even pick and just write some highlighted things. And maybe if I can, I'm not guaranteed it, but I have a very good close friend, like a brother to me, that is a defense attorney, and he represents high-profile murder cases. And if I could possibly get him on here, I don't know that if he has time, because I know he's involved in a couple of large cases right now. But he could very well shed some light to it anyway. And I may just talk to him on the phone and get an idea from him that, or may email him the copy of it.
MH says we should do a book club and read the affidavit.
Yeah, it'd be about that. 120-something pages. Yeah, it's going to be.
Juke said he's in, or she's in, I'm sorry.
Well, what it may do is we may have to just take who wants to on here and that would be great with me. I'd take 20 pages, give somebody else 20, give somebody else 20. We take 4 or 5 days to make some notes on it, and we'll put everybody on here at one time, and we'll have a discussion on it, what we think it means, because really it doesn't matter what Chris McDowell or his partner, interview room, whichever one, I get them mixed up, or Plunder or me or Duty Ron or anybody else says about what it means, because we're not working the case. Just what the guys presenting the affidavit, the district attorney, and the defense and the prosecution, what they actually mean, what it's involved.
Did you miss me?
But
today?
It would be good for me. Just give 20 pages. Somebody take 20. I'll take 20 and take 20. We all come together live here and we just discuss what we think it means. And if you're reading your part and you say one thing that I know is not correct, I'll say, no, let me tell you what, in my experience, that means. And, we can just discuss it, because
Thank you.
We pretty much have the same ability to discuss these things as anybody on here that's not directly involved in the case. The case of the bridge guy, that's another one, the murder case. I have seriously just been so interested in this case. And listening to other people, I've listened to probably 50 podcasts and YouTube channels They say they know who this guy is, and everybody in the police know who he is, and just a whole lot of stuff. Well, listen, they don't know who he is, because if they knew, he'd be in jail. Because they're Delphi murders, because they seriously, I'm sure, are afraid if they knew who he was and they didn't arrest him, that he's going to do it again. A guy that does this sort of thing, of what I've read about the crime scene from other people and heard law enforcement talk on here, and district attorneys and lawyers and everything that I've seen and read about this case, is this was a strange case, and the way the murder scene was. So, there's a lot of stuff there. I seriously think they may have a suspect out there. Proving it, though, is two different things. That case right there, I think the guy that did that at the Delphi murders, he's either done it before or he'll do it again, because
Duke said that.
It was some of the stuff that I've read about it was just like somebody that had done it, again, or done it before, because you can't do some of the things that supposedly the crime scene was. From what I read, I don't think it would have been his first time. It's just my opinion. But and that's only what I've read. It'd be great if I could see it actually been reading the actual autopsies, reading case reports, but you don't do that. All right, let's get on to what we're going to talk about tonight. All that stuff's very interesting to me, and we may get into it, even though that I don't like to cover actual cases, murder cases on here. That's what it may take, though, to talk about some of these things. Go ahead.
Do you want to share without sharing a name? Some people on here may be able to. I meant to look that stuff up, but we didn't get back in time. Some people on here may know something about the abuse of adults with disabilities. The dad that wrote us the letter.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I won't go into it much because I'd want his permission to do this, but I'll just give y'all a little of this. If you know somebody that has got some type of disability, where it's autism,
Down syndrome,
and no matter what on the spectrum they are, like Asperger's, but high functioning, or all the way down to seriously a mental illness, and you know somebody that is taking advantage of them, please report that to the police
quickly.
Yes, because if you don't, it could get out of hand, especially if the person being abused mentally, physically, whatever, is an adult. You need to report that almost immediately, especially if it's online. A lot of times it's online, and you could be, a person being groomed in certain ways. And we're just asking you to please report that as soon as even if you just believe it. It would help if you would report it to the proper authorities. You can do this anonymously if you'd like, in just about any state out there. But right now, that's all I can comment on this. It's just an email I have involving something, and I'm going to try to steer him at least with some knowledge in the right direction that I believe that could help him out. But please, if you know about anybody that is doing that, I would ask you to tell somebody right away.
Well, I would say, I'd be willing to say it's a young man in his 30s, and he is
being taken advantage of
by an older woman. Has taken him away from his parents, and
probably to use him for money, Social Security money, something like that. All right, let me just speak to this. The body of the 6-year-old is believed to be found in a motel in Jasper, Texas. The one we talked about last night, the Olsen boy,
Yeah.
showed his pictures and everything. We talked about his stepmother, the I guess is the stepmother or the girlfriend, Balboa. She is in custody too at this time, involving the death of the 6-year-old. And we talked about that last night. They said a body believed to be Samuel was found in Best Western Motel in Jasper, Texas. A person was in custody for questioning who has been revealed to be Balboa. And that's what we talked about last night.
We knew it last night.
Yeah, I mean, it says Balboa is charged with tampering with evidence. Authorities said that in a press conference, anonymous Crime Stoppers tip led police to a discovery of the body.
Okay, time out. He was in a hotel room?
Yes.
Okay, was the room rented with a no entry sign on it or something? Because they clean them every day.
That I don't know.
God.
Might be one of these pay by the hour or pay by the day motels. Morris explained Jasper police contacted Balboa at the motel and eventually discovered the body of the young child. So this is probably her room. Balboa was taken into custody and now in the Jasper County Jail, while HPD, which is Houston Police Department, believe the body belongs to Samuel. Medical examiners will determine whether it is indeed the missing boy. In her room, I'd say pretty positive. Officials of HPD have confirmed that prior to Tuesday's discovery, Balboa was out on bond for assault with intent and pending breath for a November 2020 case where the complainant was Samuel's father. Now, why in the world does he stay with this? I mean, I told you last night, probably got mad and did it to the kid. A motive is unclear at this time, but police said the body is Samuel's. They are unable to say how long that he's been dead. Authorities are now working to get Balboa returned to Harris County. The case has presented to the Harris County District Attorney's Office to determine if there will be more charges, more said. Well, I think probably that there'll be more, in essence, murder charges. That is her, and that is him, the little boy. What happened to Samuel Olson? In the video above, we have coverage of what led to the criminal charges and what's next in the investigation after the child's body was found in the motel. So, that's a very sad situation. That is very sad. We're going to discuss a case now. Excuse me. Discuss now a case that a little boy that was 10 years old when he was missing, but he turned 11 since all this investigation was going on. This is Iowa authorities search for a missing 11-year-old boy, Xavier Harrelson. Is that
Harrelson.
Now, this is in the same area where that girl was kidnapped, pulled in the cornfield, raped, and murdered. The guy that was just convicted of that the other day was at Monica. Somebody would tell me last night. MH, I thought told me. Somebody told me the name last night. I've forgotten it already. Said the FBI has joined the search for 11-year-old who disappeared May 27th near the home.
Molly Tibbetts.
Yeah, Molly. Okay, yes. His home in that Montezuma, I guess that's right, Iowa. More than 500 volunteers, responders, as well as dogs, drones, dive teams searched Harrison over the weekend. Law enforcement asked residents to search their own properties to check their surveillance systems for any sign of Harrelson. I won't stop looking for this little boy, just hoping that good news is brought. He
is returned to us safe.
Okay, go ahead.
He's such a happy little boy, said Samantha, a family friend who said she notified police of his disappearance. Harrelson, who was 10 when he disappeared, was last seen wearing a red t-shirt, blue pajama pants, black white top shoes, according to the news release. At the end of last week, there's kind of a cold snap, and when it gets down into the 30s, of course, you get to thinking of hypothermia, said Mitch, somebody from the Assistant Director of Division of Criminal Investigation, Iowa State Department of Public Safety. As the days go on, increasingly more suspicious and more concerning, he added. Nearly 3 years ago, the same Iowa community rallied about a 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts, who was last seen jogging. A farm worker was found guilty of her murder last week. To be right back here, working out of the sheriff's office in the same community, and we're almost 3 years ago when Molly disappeared. It's frightening. It's frightening how many of our children are disappearing.
Yeah, and this is a case where you don't think it's a runaway. I mean, this kid was way, way, way too young for that. This is him right here.
Okay, Kathy said, I heard the mom hadn't come out of the trailer since he went missing.
Well, that could be for a number of reasons. People, and we said this before, people handle grief differently. Some people would handle, I'm going to tell you, some people, like the mother, may feel just distraught for whatever reason. Or this may be a sign of guilt. I said something last night, and I think somebody brought it up to me later on that, and I'm not talking about just being violent, but if somebody took my child or my child was abducted, I'd be, like Dina said, she'd be the mama bear. I would be the daddy bear. I mean, I would want to handle any means possible to get that child back. But in this case where they're just gone, I'm going to do everything in my power to look for them and try to bring them home. But in this case, we don't know. We don't know what her thinking is. If she knows something, if she doesn't. I'm going to tell you this. The police have already talked to her. I can guarantee that. That's the first thing you do is talk to the parents and any relatives, step parents, brothers, sisters. This is his actual poster. Missing since May the 27th. DOB is May 30th, 2010. So that would be, he's 11, male, white, brown hair, blue eyes, 4'9", 100 pounds. Last seen May 27th. Have any information, call the local 911. Says here, the boy remains missing following days of searches by authorities, including hundreds of volunteers on Sunday morning. We're holding out hope, Mitch, the Assistant Director of Public Safety, said. Candlelight vigil was held for the youth on Sunday, which was his 11th birthday. KCCI reported dozens of people attended and they prayed for his safe return. Well, praise God for that. On Tuesday, investigators returned where they were looking at surveillance camera footage. We're asking if you have any surveillance footage or surveillance system in your home or business. Let us know if you might be something on there. And there, that's a good thing. A lot of businesses and Ring cameras and stuff, I have stuff that you can go back by and you can say, well, there it is, or that's the car right there. See here. Said like a mom's worst nightmare. 500 people searched for missing 10-year-old boy last seen Thursday. He was last seen around 11 a.m. So see, he could have been abducted right there in broad daylight. Thursday, May 27th, on his bike near his family's home on north side of Montezuma, according to the Associated Press. He was wearing a red t-shirt, blue pajama pants, and black high-top shoes, according to the news release. He's described as 4 foot 8 inches, 100 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, 10 years old when he went missing. This shows area where they did the search. What they did, and I'll cut this off a second. What they did was, on one of the searches I saw of the video of it, they got about 500 people. They lined them up in reflective vests. They lined up. It looked like they went for a mile this way and a mile that way, and they just went across these big fields, hay and grass fields, for miles and miles, trying to find anything that belonged to this child. The DCI, which I'm not sure what that, probably something in county investigation. I was missing person clearinghouse. No, that's something else. Is working in partnership with the I don't know what that is, County Sheriff's Office. Amy Adams, a spokesman for the FBI Omaha field office, said Tuesday that the FBI is assisting the Sheriff's Department and the DCI, and said the FBI is offering them any resources they can. Anyone with information has to contact the Sheriff's Office or the FBI or the Missing Persons Clearinghouse. He said, where have searchers looked so far? Law enforcement have searched neighborhoods and other homes in Montezuma on Sunday. This investigator said Sunday. On Saturday, they searched the Diamond Lake Park. 2 dive teams also searched the lake. He said airplanes, drones, all-terrain vehicles, horses, dogs have also been used, and we know that kids often go out there on bikes and trails, so they are continually searching. Said flatter areas outside places already searched were mostly being searched Sunday. A couple of buses took also volunteers to rugged areas of Diamond Lake Park. Volunteers wandered through a waist-high thicket and ducked under barbed wire fences. Said, why wasn't an Amber Alert issued? And this is what I probably know the answer to this before I read it, but probably because they didn't have a card to look for, and they thought it'd be better served the way they're doing. Amber Alerts were not issued, disappeared because there's not believed to be a criminal incident. Now, see, that right there, I think is too early to say that criminal incident. If this young boy has been abducted, that's a criminal incident. What they're saying is they figure he walked away and got hurt. I don't know why they would say that. That's kind of early. I think it's too early to say that.
Okay, Lisa found information on Plunder's channel about Barry's arrest affidavit and took a screenshot, and she's going to send it to you.
Okay. Montezuma is located about 10 miles south of Interstate Highway 80 in eastern Iowa. It's a population, about 1,500 people live in there, and according to the 2010 census, so it could have gone up or it could have gone down. But, don't you think it's early for them to come out and say the reason no Amber Alert's done is because we don't see a criminal incident? I'm sorry. I mean, I would think at his age to be disappeared like he did, I think it probably wouldn't hurt to put out an Amber Alert if they could. I just didn't think they did because, one, they don't have a vehicle, or, maybe they don't suspect him to be out near where interstate would be. And I surely don't think he ran away at 10 years old. I don't know that to be true.
You keep asking, should
What?
pick someone with it. What? Beach Bum says, you keep the missing live stream. You keep asking, show them a pic. Someone.
I did. I showed this guy.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know. I lost it somewhere. I'm trying to keep up with all their writings and.
And this is the Missing Children Network put out their bolo for him. Be on the lookout. I missed it. I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, my hair. Okay. Well, there's not much to see now. I just had it cut in the back and on the sides.
Well,
you remember the perm?
We don't have much information on that, so I want to, anybody have any suggestions or comments about it? What's your thoughts about this guy? He's 10 years old when he disappeared, and I don't understand, unless the police know. You wonder why that some of the police didn't put out a lot in the Corey Guthrie case, but they knew all along that she jumped off the bridge because of video. They were just trying to back it up that way. So, but I don't think they have much information on this guy yet. I want to touch on this. This is Mackenzie Goodall. She's missing on April 16th, 2021, Wichita, Kansas. Date of birth, January 22 of 2008.
Look how beautiful.
She is an American Indian. Black hair, brown eyes, 5'2", 120. Last seen April 16th of this year.
MH said they went back and checked his home, so maybe they know something.
Well, yeah, they may know that he I don't know.
Juke said if I eat lots of cobbler, it'll make my hair grow. Juke's
Make something grow.
Michael would tell you that if I eat a lot of cobbler, even though baking's in my jeans, I won't be able to fit in my jeans.
This is missing from Fort Dodge Police Department in Idaho. I guess that is I guess it's Idaho.
Yeah, it is. Or Iowa.
Iowa. I'm sorry, Iowa.
Ashland, Hanover.
Yeah.
Ashland.
Missing is November 15th, 2020, 17 years of age. She not seen or heard from since her disappearance in November, so that's a real scary. She was on Klaus Kids. And this one here that I wanted to talk about, because this is possibly, they said she may be in Peru. And this is thought to be a parental abduction of her daughter associated. That is her on the left when she was taken, the age progression possibly on the right, and her mother down below this. Now, they issued it, the way I understand it, they issued a kidnapping warrant for her. So this is kidnapping is issued. So it's not just a parental abduction. There's a reason why that a kidnapping is warrant has been issued. But she was absolutely beautiful little girl when she was taken, and probably still is. She's biracial. So she probably is white and Peruvian, I guess you would call that. Her mother's 38 years of age. Says age, April's photo is shown age progression to 10 years. She was allegedly abducted by her mother, Teresa Bodish, On June 30th, 2012, a felony warrant for kidnapping has been issued for Teresa. In September the 10th, 2012, they may have traveled to Peru. April is biracial. She is white and Hispanic, which would be Peruvian, maybe. Teresa may go by aliases Teresa, and I can't pronounce that name.
That's going to be Spanish. Don't even try.
Spanish. Okay, well, that's it for me, what I've had, but let me go over here and said that who supposedly sent me, Beach Bum sent me that in the email?
Not Beach Bum, hold on.
Let me go over to my email real quick. And,
Lisa, I think Lisa
and
did.
See if what you got from Plunder.
It was Lisa that did it.
Okay.
Hey, I noticed something tonight, and I just want y'all to be very careful and very aware. If you guys want to get in touch with each other, that is fine with us. We don't have a problem with that. We would rather you, instead of giving out your phone number, either email us and let us forward the email to whoever, or y'all give out your emails. But I just really don't feel comfortable with y'all putting your phone numbers on here, because we've got 5,200 subscribers and we don't know them all. We know most of y'all that come on here we know you as well as you can know somebody, but this way, but we know most of y'all.
And listen, don't do something. I preach this to everybody I know.
You interrupted me.
I'm sorry I interrupt you, but this right in my brain right now, I'll lose my thought of it. In your Facebook profile, don't put your date of birth, your whole date of birth. I bet you over half of the people on Facebook do that or more. I bet you it's more than that. Because if somebody has your date of birth, they can steal your identity. Date of birth, if you call and say, I want to get a credit card in my name and this is my date of birth, and, they may figure out a social security number or put one that they think they can get away with. It just don't do that. I might put my month and day, like February 16th is my month and day, but my year I'll put them 102 years old or put way down there. Maybe or usually I put a lot older, but because it's just another way of somebody trying to steal your identity. Okay, I'm sorry, Dana, if that interrupted you. Go ahead.
He did interrupt me because I was on a roll. Anyway, y'all be careful, because people will get on here and watch this and read the comments, and then they've got your phone number. And y'all, there's enough scammers out there that we don't need. Like, if you put something out there, somebody may call you and say, hey, we're from the missing, and we're collecting money for such and such. Can you please give? And see, we don't want that to happen. We don't want y'all to be scammed by anybody. So if you can, if you want to get in touch with someone, then both of you email us to the missing livestream at gmail.com and just tell us, hey, this is Beach Bum and I want to get in touch with Julie, or this is Helen and I want to get in touch with MH. And both of you, you can say, hey, email the missing and I will email, so it works better that way. I don't want any of you to end up as a victim.
Yeah, and another thing is too, if and I've had this done by a couple of people, is say, hey, can you give me so-and-so's phone number if you have it? And I'll say, yeah, let me hold on for a little bit. And then I'll email that person and say, hey, so-and-so wants your phone number. Is it okay for me to pass it on to them? I'm always going to ask you if I can pass on that information, because if you might say, no, I really would just like to correspond with them via email, or you can give them my email or something like that. I just don't want to do that.
Okay. I just didn't want y'all to think I was being ugly by deleting the phone numbers that were being put up in here. I just don't want somebody calling you that you don't know. So if y'all don't mind, it's up to y'all. You're adults. You can do what you want. But if you don't mind, on this channel, if you would go between us and let us just get you two together, whoever 2 or 3 or 4 together, that'll be fine. I just don't want your personal information on here because I don't want to be a part of the reason you get victimized.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you another thing. If you put down a website or there's certain words that will be automatically blocked out. Our websites are automatically blocked out. If you say, hey, check out so-and-so's website, it's automatically blocked out. Because if I allow that, I get all kinds of porn on here. I've deleted 100 porn sites before you even knew about it, because it gets put into my for review file, because I've got certain words that are keyed that I have to review it before it goes over to y'all. Every cuss word that I can think of, I had to put it in a file so that it would automatically delete that comment. You'll never see it in the others. But what these people have been doing, they got smart. They'll just put like .net, so-and-so.net, or I've caught some, and some of them have slipped by, where these girls have put in there, and they've half-naked picture, and they'll put, hi guys, or hey, follow me guys. I'll delete it. And it's not I'm trying to be lucky to anybody. I know what that is. And if you put a website in there, check out this website, or I've had people say, check out my YouTube channel, and they'll put their YouTube channel in there, and it'll automatically kick it over to my to be reviewed. And I'm not saying I won't do that, but what I'll do normally is I'll email them and say, hey, before you post this kind of stuff, email me and tell me about it. If it's something I don't mind telling my audience about, I don't mind it. But I don't want to just blanketly tell you, hey, follow this channel, because I have went over there and it's been, something that I just can't wrap my head around. And so I have actually had to delete it. And but I get a lot of even comments if you say a cuss word, not even a real bad cuss word, but if somebody says, they say like the Hoover Dam, if you say that word, or if you say even the word crap, because it would kick that out. But I had to put all those. I've had to ban people that actually are doing nothing here but trolls, and they come on here to disrupt things.
I know.
This is our big boy.
Y'all ask how the big boy is doing, and he is doing just fine. Look here.
He has adopted so well to this RV life. You can't see him, baby.
Okay.
No.
Okay, let me pull him down. Yeah, he's black.
Yeah, he's black. And there he is, his eyes, big old eyes.
Moses.
But let me see if I can just put you on there. Just I'm not on the stream. But yeah, we've had some people say, please don't put your animals up there.
They're distracting.
But Moses has not. He's cried a little bit last night to get outside, but he was mostly just up on the side of the RV window, and it was a full moon, and he was wanting out. But he's done real well.
We're shocked.
Well. We're actually shocked. He's a good boy. And last night he was now the cat's not as well as a burglar alarm as the dog's heart.
Maggie's enough to scare everybody.
If they hear at least a little something, they'll be jumping up barking. Maggie's real good with Moses. Real good.
Gracie's not.
Gracie's a bully with Moses.
Gracie is a bully to Moses and Maggie.
Yeah, she's a little man syndrome.
Lisa said, did you get her email? Did you look?
Yes, I did. And I noticed that, yes, I'm sorry about that. I meant to tell you. Yes, Plunder did say that it was 129 pages. See, it says here, motion filed yesterday. It's a state response to the defense objection regarding unsealing of the 129-page arrest affidavit. This is 4-page motion filed. 129 pages, and I, when I hear this, let me see here. When I hear that, 129 pages, I go back in my memory so vividly of my judge that would tell me, one of our judges would tell me, you need, and he would take my affidavit for an arrest warrant and he would red ink it, whole bunch of it out. He said, you don't need all this in there. It's just something for the defense to get up on. Go rewrite it. I'm serious. Of course, his office at the time was like 30 feet from my office. He was in another building, and I was over here in another building. So I could just go over there and cut and paste, what I needed to do.
I'm fuzzy.
But, yeah, you are fuzzy. But,
why am I fuzzy?
I don't know, man. But I think sometimes you can have too much information. Yeah, our cat has turned into a great RV cat. That is surely.
I've not got Beach Bum. I didn't say he was happy, but he's a good cat.
And he's not.
He hasn't complained.
But sometimes I think he's
depressed.
Depressed, or he's got something else on his mind. But
somebody said TMI, too much information. I don't know what we gave. No. Rapu said, Medina, did Thomas cut your hair?
No, my hair was cut by Medina, too much of it, but I did not cut her hair. She wouldn't let me 3 feet with a pair of scissors next to her hair. No way.
Y'all, I barely let him at me with the B12 shot. He shakes. He's got familiar trimmer, so he shakes. I
have something it's hereditary.
And I see that, Cecil.
That sometimes I shake, and it's a genetics. It's a genetic thing. So sometimes when I hit her with the needle.
Twice. One time he gave me a shot twice. We just got a hint from Cecil.
Yeah.
You see that?
2 minutes. All righty. Well, it's near 8 o'clock, and we have been summoned across the street here to the in-laws. So we hope to see you Friday, and be thinking about.
Can I say, Pogmo donkey? Do you see the donkey back there? Is that what
Pogmo donkey?
Y'all see my donkey?
Yeah, you could probably say Pogmo donkey.
What is that?
Say something. I don't know exactly what that is.
What's that mean, Martin?
I used to say.
Okay, they know something we don't know. They're laughing.
Yeah, I used to say. What was it I used to say?
What was the Morser?
No, but what was that? I would say. I don't know. Something in Spanish, probably.
Yeah, Julie, you probably could come and give me the shot better than Thomas does.
Yeah.
But I don't complain, because if I complain, he won't give them to me, and I need them. Yeah. Can y'all see my donkey's fuzzy? Here, put your donkey over there. It's your donkey I gave you.
Yeah.
I gave him a donkey once because he was so stubborn.
Donkeys. But anyway, we will see you on Friday. We love y'all.
The good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
We love y'all, and we'd appreciate it if, and I do a little self-advertisement right now. If you haven't gone over and checked out our RV channel, it is the #1 million-mile road trip we would appreciate if you would go over and subscribe to it and follow us along as we tour the country. We will get in full swing of touring here in about a week or two. And if you can go over and subscribe, it would really be great if y'all would do that. We're a little bit under 500 subscribers right now. I really would love to get as many as possible, of course, but it would.
B12 shots, Jukes. B12, if you're low on B12, it mimics Alzheimer's. And after the age of 50, our body doesn't produce it or take it in as well. So I get B12 shots every 3 to 4 weeks.
All righty. Okay, we will see y'all. And
as in whiskey shots.
We will see you now.
Jukes, let me tell you something. Jukes is on fire tonight.
Yeah,
they are, Jukes, you're doing it. I'm telling you, you got me laughing tonight.
All right. Well, I'm going to show Maggie when she was doing her center thing at Dina Talk. She's been practicing with her again. And
I didn't send you the videos of her. I didn't send you the videos of her swimming. Good night, y'all. We love you.
We love you and see y'all Friday.
We'll be praying for y'all. Get over here. Get there. Sit. Sit. Maggie, look at me. You see this? Center.